Well, welcome to our Friday Legacy recap. We are doing a little bit of a different flavor today with the podcast. We have decided that because of a successful show and how successful it was, we wanted to, of course, highlight just the great job that Sunni and Todd did with the Legacy Classic. As you guys know, it was a smashing success. Everybody is talking about it. We broke the internet and we broke Facebook. So all I see in my feed right now is legacy, 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 legacy. And that is a really, really good thing. So Sunni, I'll start with you. First of all, welcome Todd and Sunni. And I want to know what was really the highlight for you, going through all this.
Oh my God. So the highlight for me, in the production part.
I wanted to, of course, highlight just the great job that, there you go.
My bad.
A little bit of a delay.
We on?
You can go now.
Okay. So the highlight for me was the all of the back, scenes, the production part, getting the hype out there. One thing about, putting on shows or putting on a production piece of it is all of the stuff that happens behind the scenes that is just going to make it illuminating when they arrive. So for me, the back thing, the preparing for what is to come for the athletes when they show up. I mean, of course, the other stuff, but that was like, I like that part going in.
I gotta agree. Getting set up, the production part, the things that Sunni was talking about, that was a highlight. I like the visual effect of everything that happened, but my highlight of highlights had to be pro men standard bodybuilding. It was off the chain. I mean, we had 8 of the baddest dudes in the natural bodybuilding game down here in the South, and they was on that stage, man, and they gave a show. I still hate to say that, we wasn't able to get as many people in to lay witness to that because you missed it, but those of you that actually were able to see it via Facebook Live, I know you got a treat. We'll be posting more pictures, like Matt said, with the already broke the social media barrier with pictures and pictures and pictures. So it was off the chain. The classic bodybuilding women, pro women, man, it was just insane. They put on a show. Like I say, I tell people all the time in this game of bodybuilding, it's almost like being a entertainer opposed to an athlete because you get a chance to actually come on stage and the spotlight is on you. You put on a show. It's a production, baby. It's big. It's like you're one you Denzel Washington out there, baby. You gotta go out there and go get it. So yeah, they did that. They did that, man. So shout out to all our pros that ended the show. They did a wonderful job. And to all the amateurs, oh my God, they look so amazing out there, man. Amazing.
So the couple of things for those of you who are watching right now, I'm kind of looking to see the audience, and some of you weren't there. So if I can give you some highlights that you guys really knocked out of the park. Number one, you were right. The lighting and the stage production, in Scott Ramsey's opinion, was the best stage production he has seen on a GBO show to date. So you guys killed it with the lights. Go ahead. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Scott.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So a lot of the times, what we struggle with is static lighting. And so this is one of the little things that you guys implemented this year, which I think I'm going to definitely steal. So thank you in 3 weeks. And you guys had multi-lighting, which you had not only, and I know this is kind of a nerdy thing, but you had LEDs, you had Licos, which are the kind of the incandescent bulbs, which gives a warm tone. So really what it did is it created the right shadows in the right places to see the details so judges could see who was really conditioned and who didn't come in maybe right when they should have. So that was a big factor. And I think that helped in the judging because from what I understand, is what I saw the judging right on.
Yeah. It was pretty exciting. I think that set the mood also for the athletes that, when they're able to go out there and it's got this Vegas-like feel to it, and, it was a show. It was a show. They felt like they were in the show. We just didn't feel like we was in the warehouse somewhere doing the show. They felt like they were on the spotlight. That this was my time to shine, and I'm here. I'm here. I finally made it. So
Yeah.
I think that helped out for them too, and us too, and the audience. That you actually were somewhere witnessing something that you had never seen before.
Yep.
I
So
ditto that.
here's what I want to do. I want to get your opinion on your top three as far as really what you saw, because I think that you can comment to really their strengths. We'll start with pro standard bodybuilding. We had number 1, Kendall Geis, number 2, David Lovelace, and number 3, James Mickles. And I thought that was a pretty close 1, 2, 3. I've never seen anyone as diced, as shredded as Kendall. I mean, he was completely striated in the glutes. He brought mass, he brought size, but he also brought great balance. So, man, tell us what you saw in the top 3.
Well, like I said, that was like one of my highlights, what I had been waiting for. I'm always going to be a bodybuilding guy. I'm always going to have bodybuilding in my show, because my thing is, if you don't have bodybuilding in your show, it's not a bodybuilding show at all. So my thing is that those guys are some of the top, not just in the South here, but throughout the nation in the natural bodybuilding community. So yes, I've known Kendall for years. Me and Kendall go all the way back to the Muscle Mania days. He's always been diced up. I'm talking about just diced up. From the first time I met him, I nicknamed him the pound for pound champ, because he's a little dude. He looks extremely big on stage, but he's actually a little dude. So, but he's always been the pound for pound champ and shredded. Then you had Mr. David Lovelace. You can't say much about this guy. He's pretty much a legend. He should be up there on the legends when it comes down to natural bodybuilding. He's a world champion in several different organizations, and he hit the legacy stage, and he brought it. He brought it. He brought a solid package, a world class package in natural bodybuilding. And what more can I say about Mr. James Mickles? Mr. James Mickles, man, this dude, oh man, I've watched him from day one, from the first time he stepped on stage to now. He does nothing but improve. He's going to also go down as one of those legends in the bodybuilding game, in the natural bodybuilding game. Believe me, he's going to be a world champion. He's going to be in the book of legends. And hey, he was at the legacy, so he got to be a legend. You were born to be legendary. So it's all good, man. Those 3 guys were on point. But now let's not forget the ones that came behind him either. We had Q Wilson. Q Wilson only had a couple of weeks of prep, and the package that he brought to that stage, oh my goodness. And the symmetry and the way he was able to get up there and display his body and his physique, and his posing, man, that's just crazy. All of them was entertaining. Then you have Derek Richardson. He's another one. Every year he gets better and better and better. You can't say too much more about him. He's consistent and getting better. He never comes in nothing. He beats that package that people always say that he had. I'm gonna beat that other me. I'm gonna beat that person. He always does that. And Cody, talking about entertaining. Cody put on a show, man. He was out there with that sexual chocolate routine he had going on. I was like, oh, there, Cody. Cody had the women coming up out the chairs and stuff, standing up, holding bras and panties in the hand and stuff. I was like, man, get off stage, man, with that. Oh, come on now. And he was up there killing it, so. And Tracy did his thing too, man. He was on point. He was definitely on point. But all of them, man, they all did a great job up there. They all put on some good entertainment. Speaking of posing, Mr. David Lovelace, oh my goodness. That's all I gotta say. He was our Matt Storm actually sponsored that best poser award, and he knocked it out the box. So yeah, that's my recap on that, man. It was amazing, really amazing. Oh, shout out to GBO Mexico, via Mexico. I was supposed to be there this weekend, you know. We were supposed to be going down there this weekend. So I said I'll wear my shirt in honor of the Lions down there in Mexico. So yeah, it was off the chain. Very much off the chain.
Nice.
Huh?
Are we okay now? Because we were having some technical difficulties. So I'm recording this and we'll re-upload it. But Alethea, if you can confirm if we're okay or not. Are we okay, Todd?
I don't know. I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you great. No chop. Sunny, I did mute you. And so if you want to unmute yourself, how did you have, because I mean, it was 8 incredible standard bodybuilders.
Boy.
I know that Kendall came from how many?
You said
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Good. And I know Kendall came from Arkansas. David and James are, you know, and Cody are from Houston, and Q's from, where's Q from?
Dallas.
Q's from,
And Dallas.
Alethea said she can't hear nobody. So he can't hear you. Can't hear you, Matt. Can't hear you, Sonny.
Can't hear me?
What?
Cool. Well, the good news is I'm going to record it. So what I'll do is I'll go back and edit. And even though we're live on Facebook right now, we'll make it happen. So how's that work? But I mean,
Well,
any commentary on that, Sonny? Go ahead.
Well, with Q Wilson came out of Missouri. So yeah, he came out of Missouri area. So yeah, St. Louis.
We met him in Dallas. That's why I thought he was from there.
Yeah, that's when I first met Q. So yeah. Shout out to Q, man.
Yeah.
That's an extremely great guy. Great guy, great athlete, and a great guy.
Well, interesting. What did you have, Sonny?
On those bodybuilders, well, the performance is always that is their time to shine and to show out. I mean, David's, you know, his performance was well. I liked it a lot. James, of course, you know, he brought it. And like ditto what Todd said about Cody, you know, he was up there, you know, doing his thing. But it seems as though everybody kind of uses that same song from that movie. So I can't even think of the song, but it's always that one bodybuilder that uses that song, The Weeknd, by The Weeknd, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, the bodybuilders, they always come to perform. I mean, that is their thing. You know, they working for that moment. And I'm glad we're able to give that to them and that they get awarded for it, because most, you know, federations don't award that, the posing part.
Right. And I mean, like I say, you know, shout out to you, Matt, for sponsoring that posing. You and SunniFitness actually sponsored the women's best poser, and Matt Storm actually sponsored the guys for their best posers.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you know what's interesting is we like to help each other's shows. I mean, big shout out to you last year. You got a chance to do best poser at our show, and that meant so much, because we want to give as much back as we can to the athletes as a primary promoter. But when you know, promoters from other shows start to support you in, you know, financially and just being there and helping, it just means a ton. So we really appreciate that, and that's the least that we can do, at least on our end. I do want to get into women's classic bodybuilding, if that's okay. I know that if we can't hear anything right now, that's okay. We're just gonna re-record, or we're recording right now, and we're gonna live stream it on the GBO Bodcast. I'm just gonna repost it. But you had Melody Farkas, you had Helen Horton, you had Sachiko, and then you had Amy Nowak out of San Francisco. And I mean, that's probably the best in women's classic bodybuilding that we've seen on any natural stage, period. So Todd, do you want to lead off with that?
Let me tell you, if I tell you that Melanie is a beast, I can't tell you no more. That woman is a beast. You talking about shredded, symmetry, muscularity. She just killed it on that stage. Killed it. You know, she was on stage, and then we had a brand newcomer to the game, which was Helen Horton, who came in surprisingly, just boom, 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 putting them bees on folks. I was like, calm down, Helen. You looking up, because I saw it like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, ooh, wait a minute, you know. So I was like, all right, Helen, I know you can get ripped, but I was like, oh, okay. Helen came to put some hands up in this thing. Let's go. you know. And then you had the 2017 Miss Atlas on stage, Sachiko Jumba. What more can I say? She never fails in bringing a excellent package. And also my girl, Miss Amy. Amy Novak was in there and she was in there fighting and she's gonna always put on a great show. She did a great routine. She's won several shows where her routines, best posing routine and stuff like that. And she didn't fail us again this time. She did a good job. Great job.
And Sunni, if you do want to step in, just let me know so we can get you unmuted. One of the things I'll say, and Todd, maybe you can speak to this. From what I understand, we had a couple of 40-year-old plus pros, and I'm not going to mention who because I think some were female, some were male, and we never reveal age. But is that true? We had a couple of 40 plus?
Oh yeah. We had a couple of them, Hey, age don't matter when it comes on the stage, getting on stage. Matter of fact, it kind of helps out because then you're bringing that mature muscle, that mature, nice muscle, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the naturals. That's where you can actually see that definition. It's a little more harder, a little more seasoned. They put a little of that little salt and pepper on it. Hey, and it makes it work out for them. Whereas most of our younger athletes who are natural, they come in, they have more of a soft tone like to their physique opposed to the older guys that have that mature muscle. So yeah, we have them in there. They were there.
Sunni, what you got?
So shout out to Melody. That her performance was just phenomenal. Now all of the rest of the ladies, they all come with it. I mean, it was a show to judge. Like I know the judges had a time with judging those ladies because they all brought their A game. So I mean, that's all I could say. But shout out to you, Melody. I mean, I've seen her. She posted all the time on the Legacy page as she was in the gym. I mean, we like all that. That's hype. That's all the stuff that's behind the scenes that you're gonna coming forward. Now, all of the other ladies they posted as well. But I mean, yeah, she brought it. She got it. It was well deserved. Shout out to you, Melody, and the rest of you ladies.
Hey, all I'm saying is this. On December the 3rd in Galveston, on Galveston Island, it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. So, we got a whole year to get ready to see these women back on stage again. It's going to be crazy, man, in that classic bodybuilding. I can't wait. I'm really just like, itching in my seat about the natural atlas. It's crazy. The competition that we're gonna have in that show, it's just crazy, So yeah, and Melanie, girl.
She's watching right now. She's got a bunch of faces and pause. So that's what I keep looking at is the feed because I got to tell you, my most impactful moment was seeing women's Beachbody 21 top quality natural athletes, some of the best in the world, in my opinion. I mean, you filled that stage up and you even reposted this picture where all 21 of them are on stage and it's just that perfect shot. I don't know who caught it, but somebody caught it at the right moment. And so these girls came to win a pro card. And I think Tegan was the overall pro. Is she a teenager?
Yes, she's a teenager. I think she just turned she's getting ready to turn 18, she just turned 18, one or two. But hey, she's gonna be a beast for a long time. So, that's something we're gonna again put your hands up if you come to deal with it, put your hands up because she's gonna be around for a long time. When we get them that young and they hit the stage and they're able to come up there and do the things that Tegan did, winning the team, winning her class. Did she do novice too? I don't know. Did she do novice?
I think
she did novice. Winning novice. She had about 4 or 5 medals. All I know, she had 4 or 5 medals walking around. She was walking around with a sword, almost killing people and stuff. So hey, so all I know is we got to deal with her for a long time, man. So again, we got a year for December the 3rd. Hey, gotta bring it.
Yep.
This is the time to get ready. Hit you some
And
shows, see where you stand.
we had men's Beachbody. On the other hand, we had Josh Matlock, who is a Masters competitor, earn his pro card. He was shredded. My Lord,
Josh.
Sunny, tune in. The only reason why I'm muting you is I'm getting a little backlash when Todd talks. There's just a little background noise in there, so unmute yourself. What did you have in men's Beachbody? Because, man, he came in and he wanted it. You could tell.
I mean, oh, I really liked him a lot. I mean, he was to himself the whole time. I think he asked me one question and he ducked off in a corner. He just stayed to himself. He was just in the moment. And I mean, you know, some competitors, they walk around, and he did not. He sat in the back of the stage behind the curtain in a seat, in a chair. That's it. By himself, solo dolo. I mean, it was for him.
You know, sometimes you get athletes who, before they even become professionals, they were already professionals.
Yeah.
And Matlock, he exhibited that way before he ever hit the stage. You know, he was a professional in the game before he even got the title. So yeah, good dude, great physique. He's gonna be a force also in the pro league.
And we also had Figure and Shape. So you could probably speak to who earned their overall pro card in Figure and Shape. I know that Olga got her pro card. Rosa got hers as well. I mean, these ladies were phenomenal. And, you know, I mean, I guess what's really noticeable is just the way they came in conditioned, because I noticed, you know, when we look at Shape, we're looking for a larger glute, ham, quad, but really the ones who are winning seem to have that right conditioning while keeping that muscle as well. And I got to tell you, I mean, even pro Shape, I was very impressed with Erica, with Jacqueline. You know, you go down the list with those group. What did you guys notice in pro Shape?
Go ahead, son.
I had to keep. Okay, so in pro Shape, I was supposed to compete in the shape category, but you know, the way Erica came in, she was super duper lean. She had it all in the right places. I mean, those quads was popping. It's just, and she was lean. I mean, hands down, there's nothing that I can say, you know, about that, other than she came there and did her performance.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I keep referencing back to December 3rd. Hey, the way she brought it,
it's gonna be live. Yeah,
hey man, I ain't saying things may change, but right now that's like the top contender in the naturals for women's shape, pro shape, man. The way she brought it, the glutes was on point. She had the nice tone quads, little waist, you know. She when she first she got her card. She got her card at Legacy, didn't she? Sunny?
I think, was it the Legacy or
Yeah,
was it?
she won her pro card at the Legacy, and she actually won both her classes in shape and in Beachbody. So she was a borderline it anyway. So
yeah, because at first I thought she was a Beachbody. I didn't know that she was shape at all. So I kind of missed that.
Right. So she actually won her class, and she contended in the overall in both categories at the Legacy. But I think she ended up taking the Beachbody pro card. But here's the thing: she was always right there with that physique. Now my recommendation to her is that she's gonna have to make a decision down the line of which one she wants to actually do in order to actually build a body to meet that criteria, solid and dominate. But
yeah, because
right
those
now,
categories are different, you know.
Yeah, right. So right now, if I was her, you know, the way it stands, I'll be straight focusing on shape.
Or shape.
I'll focus on
one
shape.
Or the other.
You know, I would focus on shape and go get it. You know, because she still has those genetics. You know, those genetics where she has to go so lean for Beachbody, and then when she gets down to being so lean, that now she's thrown out of it because she's too lean to get down to the size of what these Beachbody girls the packages they're bringing. where it's in shape, she's not gonna have to do that. She's gonna be able to come in with the nice quad sweep. She's gonna have the glutes, which is a genetic thing. Everybody ain't got it, And a lot of times the people that do have it, once they start leaning out, they lose it all. And she doesn't. She still has that teardrop back there. So my recommendation to her and her coach is I would focus on shape and go on and win the Atlas.
Her coach is watching right now. Now we have two head judges watching as well. So we have fact checkers because we know this was going to be a heated debate. And what's interesting about this is Tony, I think, nailed it when he said she earned her pro card at the SPI, and then she did the legacy, and then she did the global championships, and she took first in pro beach body, if I remember correctly, back in 2018.
Okay. Well, yeah, she actually I think she took first place at Dallas Central Texas.
And that too, yes.
Yeah.
She's had a pretty decorated career, and she's been kind of hiding under the radar because she could do so many things.
She's low key. She's that borderline. I call them tweeners. You got those tweeners. You got those tweeners that's in between bodybuilding and figure. Then you got those tweeners that's in between shape and beach body. You have them like that sometimes, and it's all based on how the nutrition and training goes and how lean they are, because a lot of times you'll get our beach body girls and they'll come in extremely lean and a lot of separation in the muscle and stuff like that. But that's not the criteria. So, they look great. They look great, but at the same time, they don't have the symmetry to actually move up the figure or the size to move up the figure in the muscularity area.
So you talk about tweeners, Todd, and we're going to have some moving to pro figure here in about 3 weeks at the Storm Classic, which we'll get into. But I do want to wrap up with really the Legacy Classic, which I thought you did an excellent job with pro men's beach body. I don't know where you found some of these guys, but man, I haven't seen some of them. And when Aria showed up and, you've got somebody like, oh man, well, let's just talk about pro men's beach body. So that's a little soft spot for me because I love seeing those guys with Hugo, with Jamar, and those guys battle it out and especially Wendell. It was great to see Wendell back on stage. And, we really enjoy seeing him every year. And I'm really glad that he took the plunge and hoping to see him in a few weeks as well, which we're not going to give away our hand yet. But, man, tell us what your thoughts were on pro men's.
Say, man, let me tell you, I come out of that background as a physique pro, but these guys were amazing. For some reason this year, the GBO men's physique pros, the COVID got them. They got them, and they really wasn't trying to get out there and compete. So I put the word out. I lit up the flag, put the word out, and say, hey, man, we need some guys, some high caliber guys to come get on this stage. And so I reached out throughout the country and came up with some great ones. So I'm starting with Isaac Johnson. Come on, man. This guy I call him the marathon man. Actually, this guy did 2 shows in one day. He actually did a show across town, came back, did the legacy, and looked phenomenal, making his pro debut. I've never seen nobody do a pro debut in 2 different shows at one time. He's the marathon man. Then right after that, you had your guy Wendell. I always say, man, pound for pound, Wendell is a beast. Hey, the guy. What I would like to see Wendell doing, because of being in his natural status, is do more shows throughout the year. Because I think it would only help him, and he would improve and get better and better and better. A lot of times they'll do one show and they out of there. But I can see that in bodybuilding, but in beach body, and you got to pound and ground. You got to get out there and get it. But Wendell looked great. He looked really great. And then after that, of course, we got a top 5 Atlas guy up there, and just non-tested. Non-tested at the Atlas, and that's Hugo. And shout out to him. He told me that he's going to actually retire on your stage. I've been knowing Hugo for a long time. We used to battle back in the day. I remember our first show together was the Branch Warren. I want to say back in 2012 or something like that. we got up there. He waxed my ass, but it's all good. I still love him. But yeah, that was it. And then right after that, man, you had our big boy out of Austin, Texas. Say, when I tell you this dude is a beast. He is a beast. I've been seeing him for a long time. Actually, I saw him when the first time he ever got on stage. So you can't go no harder than what he did. And of course, Harrison, man, coming out of Colorado, the dude. I almost gonna have to give him the mantle of marathon man too, because I think he's undone. He's going to end up doing probably about 13 shows this year. And this is what I'm telling Wendell. Say, man, you better get on your game, because these boys is out here competing, man. These boys is out here getting that bread, and they competing. So, everywhere he's went, his last shot is going to be probably the Natural Olympia, which is going to be, I think, in November. But hey, you got to get on your game. If you want to get better, you got to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like Sunni always say, spectators take the seat and athletes compete. And that dude there been competing, baby.
Well, there was something that you mentioned. Mario Hill was very impressive too, because he came in condition. I don't think there was anybody that was going to touch Arias, and here's why. He just has such a small waist. And the second he hit his intercostal pose, everything just popped right out. I mean, his serratus, his obliques. I mean, he was razor sharp, dry, lean, hard. You just can't find that very often.
But here's what I'm telling you, Matt. The reason why, because he competes.
Yes.
He competes. He's probably was on our show was probably his 5th show. He's been going across the country during the COVID. As soon as they let the COVID up a little bit, he's been going to state to state to state to state competing. Whereas the other 4 guys, they hadn't been on stage at all this year. So this dude was like seasoned, tuned in, finally won. He was ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to compete. You got to compete, to stay on top of your game. My best season, even though it almost killed me, my best season was the season I did 7 shows. I had like 4 or 5 championships that year, and I kept getting better and better every show. But that's because I kept competing and I got better and better. As a natural, you can do that. You can do that. You can compete at that level, and then you just take your break. You take your big long break, like James Nichols and them usually do. His team, they'll compete all year and they'll take a whole year off, work on the things they need to work on, then come back. Speaking of, he did that. He brought back a package this year that, hey, I was like, yeah, he did it. He did that. Great job, James Nichols.
Yeah, he really brought it. So this leads me to the fun stuff, because if you guys don't mind commenting, I'm going to throw a couple names out. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. But as we move in 3 weeks, I mean, everybody who was at the show, I always heard great things, by the way. I mean, absolutely loved it. The quality of athletes that were there showed up with a purpose. They didn't show up just to see how things were going to go. They took their prep seriously. Nobody knew how COVID was going to kind of unfold, and you really set the tone for what's about to happen at the end of October. So we've got 4 pro classes. We've got pro men's beach, we've got pro women's beach body, we've got pro men's classic, and we've got pro women's figure. Now, what's really cool is I think the cat's out of the bag here. So if you don't mind, I'm looking at pro men's beach body right now, and we've got Dr. Gabor Farkas. We've got Mariel Silva. We've got Isaac Johnson, who just came off the Legacy. For those of you who don't know Gabor, he was expediting the Legacy. So he got a chance to see a little bit of the competition. We have Anthony Russell from Louisiana. People have asked me when we're going to announce the pro lineup, so we might as well. We've got Orlando Chapa from down in the Valley. We've got, by the way, this is going to be Hugo Arimo's 48th show.
He's a beast.
That's insane.
Hugo is a beast, man. That dude is a beast.
Yep.
Beast.
You're right. And we also have John Gonzalez, who is also another Masters competitor who's going to be making his pro debut, as well as Justin Taylor. He was on the Battle of Central Texas stage, and he competed last year, so he's returning. And then also we just had Jamar Landrum jump in. And from what I understand, we still have 3 or 4 more pros. They still have 7 days to get their commitment in. But, man, we're going to mix it up with Pro Men's Beachbody again.
Mhm.
Any of those names stand out to you? Anybody want to start lighting the fire under these guys?
Let me
Sonny?
tell you. Go ahead, son.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't really have an opinion on it at all because of head judge. But I want to say that hey, that's going to be a great class. And again, those guys that have been competing or competed last week or competed prior to this, those are the guys that's going to be there, man. Because they done got the feet wet. So like I say, get out there and compete, people.
And here's
Don't
why
be
I
on the
can't ask
judge
your
table,
opinion,
so
Todd, because you can't actually even see pictures of them without knowing whether they're filtered or not. And it always is about game day. There are
Right.
no preconceived, hey, I think this is a favorite or I think that is a favorite because we don't even know what they look like yet.
Nope.
And we don't even know what they're going to show up with on Saturday evening, which, yes, I will go over the format. But Sunny, you are judging. Forget it. I'm not even
I am judging.
Okay, so I'll give you another preview. This is something that you can start to think about because we have some folks watching here. We've got pro women's beach body. We've got Neri Collier. We've got Ashley Caballero. So Mary is from Austin. Ashley Caballero is from Houston. Shonda Gibson is from Oklahoma. Sarah Butcher is from the east side of Texas, which is closer to Beaumont/Orange. We have Nico Cusack coming in from Colorado. She's by way of Illinois and Arizona. We've got Kimberly Berry out of Austin, Christina Ferruzzi out of San Antonio, Jeanette Feliciano out of Florida, Brenda Torres out of North Houston, Wendy Cammett out of Houston, and then Bashir Ahmad. Where is she from?
Bashir is from man, where is Bashir from? I
I don't
can't
know.
remember right now. I can't,
So to be
but
determined.
I want to say I lie. She's from Oklahoma.
Okay, perfect. I thought it was a 405 number.
Ty knows everything. He knows where everybody live and everything.
Yep.
Like a Rolodex, human Rolodex.
We've also got.
Hey, I'm a fan of the sport, baby. I'm a fan of the sport.
You know what? When you're a fan of it, you want to know everything, so you want to find out all the info. And we also have Jenny Tanos out of Friendswood, Texas. So some of the folks that are going to be joining us, I know Kimberly Alvera earned her pro card at your show. We also have Tegan Ashworth, who also earned her pro card, who's waiting to get her pro paperwork signed and contract, and then she's going to hop in. And interestingly enough, Todd, you know Whitney Titus. I think Whitney Titus, is she from Illinois?
I think so. I think she is from there. Well, we got a couple of them come from Illinois, I think. But yeah, I think she is from Illinois. And I think Nico is coming out of Chicago, right?
She's coming out of Golden, Colorado by way of Illinois and by way of
Illinois.
Arizona.
Right.
Well, so.
Matter of fact, I'll see her next weekend.
Perfect.
In Minnesota.
You're going to see probably one of the most stacked Beachbody lineups that we've seen in a while for women's, and that list is still growing as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. Just a little preview for Pro Men's Classic Bodybuilding, which of course Derek Richardson will be making his return. Reggie Williams, who you saw in the podcast, Reggie is super excited, and he looks super big. He came to watch the Legacy. Not a lot of people knew that, but he was just kind of checking out the competition because he knew some of those folks were going to be jumping in. We do have James Mickles, of course, which we're very excited to have him back. Actually, this will be his first time on the Storm Classic stage. Chad Gidroz is out of Louisiana. He'll be coming back. Tracy Walker out of Oklahoma will be coming back from last year. Tony Bennett, who won his pro card by way of Dallas, Texas. Jonathan Hayes, I have no idea where he's from.
I don't know where Jonathan's from.
So Jonathan is from somewhere in the United States. And then we also have Ryan Pichon, who earned his pro card in Las Vegas. And he is by way of New Orleans, Louisiana. And from what I hear, he's going to bring a team of amateurs and an army. So
wow.
He's probably got one of the best vacuums I've ever seen next to James Mickles because they sport that.
That dude, man, when we saw him in Vegas, he was, I was like, hey, dude, you need to, again, keep competing, baby. Keep competing. Because he had a great vacuum. You're right, he had a great vacuum, he had great symmetry, great size. I mean, he had the total package. I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm excited to see him on stage. I am.
This is going to be the pro women's figure who are in right now. Now we have more that are going to be entering, but we have Melody Farkas. So it looks like our reigning women's classic bodybuilding is going to be the tweeners, right? She can morph in and come in a little softer, move into criteria for figure. We have Ann LaFair. We have Kat Graham. We have Jeanette Santiago. And Jeanette is, I think, from either the RGB or Corpus Christi, but we have South Texas represented there. We have Madi Rodriguez, which we've seen for probably how long now? 5-6 years. She has made tremendous improvements. I remember at the Atlas, she took about a year off, if you see her, she's made amazing improvements. We also have a top 3 Atlas, Jamie Ayton, and she is out of Aaron Elliott's camp. We have Akugo coming, and I can't wait to see her because she was a top level athlete at the Atlas.
She's a top 5 Atlas, yeah.
Yep, and I just can't remember where she played, so I didn't want to say 4th or 5th.
I'll tell you this, she's always top 5.
Yes.
I haven't been to a show yet that she hasn't broke the top 5.
So she's going to look to see and repeat and, obviously make the top 5. And then Helena Dura, who I don't know where she's from. And I hear Amy Nowak is getting her commitment in today. So, I mean, we have literally 4 stacked pro classes. And really none of us can get our opinion. But what we can do is we can make sure and let everybody know. I have pros asking me all the time, who is in my class? Who signed up? And I can't say. Well, you know what? We just made it public, so you're welcome. And you might have a couple of last minutes in, but we're gonna all be together in 3 weeks, so you'll know Friday night who you're competing against when we do. So
sounds like a lot of work.
Yes. So Sunni, you helped expedite the show last year. What are some of the things that you're excited about this year for the Storm Classic, if you don't mind me asking you first?
Well, this year, you always, you put on a great show. You put not only a great show, a big, massive show. So, it's going to be work, I'm pretty sure that everybody is going to come with great physiques, which is going to be hard for the judges, not just me, but everybody on the panel. So I got a couple, people in the show, so I'm gonna have to be trading in and out. But for the most part, I mean, I'm excited. Last year I did do the expediting and it was great. I mean, the athletes all do their thing. This is what we live for, right? So now I'm just gonna be watching it from the front and engaging and making sure that I'll stay up.
Best seats in the house. I showed Todd his new judging seat since he's head judging. It's a big old tall, like 15 feet tall. The audience is going to hate him because they can't see around. So, obviously we're not going to do that. But Todd, you were a head judge last year at this show. Obviously you made the call. First of all, shout out to Tony Cortez, who did an amazing job at your show, calling and really working the heck out of the athletes too. So they were sweating, they were working, and they had to earn every part of that medal, trophy, or paycheck. And it was definitely seen. So Todd, your take, what are you excited about this year?
And I'm just excited about the show. This is going to probably be, I haven't judged. I haven't actually sat in the head judge's seat at all this year. So this is going to be my first time back in the judge's seat. So I'm just telling you, get ready, baby. The dock is back on the table. So, I'm just ready to see the athletes. I'm ready to see all these amazing physiques. I was trying to watch most of them at my show, because, I'm promoting. I'm running around with my head chopped off like a chicken, but it was all good. Like I said, we had some beautiful physiques. So my main focus right now is I just want to get my team together as we go into the Storm Classic, make sure that everybody's on the same accord as we go in to make sure, because this is a high caliber show. This is it for this year. It's for 2020. This is it. This is the bam. It's over for us, and we're getting ready to start the 2021 season. So I just want to make sure my judges are always on point, but I want to make sure that we got the right team up there and make sure that everything, all the T's across, I's are dotted, and then we make sure that we bring the best packages forward and place them the way they need to be placed.
Now we're going to do a new format. So it's a little bit more modified than even what you did. And I would like to get your feedback because we're trying to make it athlete friendly. What we're essentially doing is we're taking away the 30-second free pose for the bodybuilders and actually implementing their 90-second routine, which they normally do at night. They're going to be able to be creative and show off and be judged on the art of posing. Now, every bodybuilder I've talked to absolutely loves that idea. They're going to be doing their 90-second routines and then their comparisons with their classes. And then right after the classes are done, we're going to bring them right back on for awards. So as a judge, how does that help sharpen your skill? Because now you don't have to wait to see who won. We kind of already know who did after prejudging.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing. Judging is judging. If you're judging and you're doing it right and you going by what the criteria is, it's no different. It don't matter what format you put up there as far as the show flows. The criteria is the criteria, and that's what we go by. You either meet the criteria or you don't meet the criteria, and we place you accordingly. So it's not going to affect the judging in no way, no fashion. Now, I do like the format. I've seen the format done in other organizations. It's going to work out just fine. And I think, we are at that age now that the big, long, all-day shows, it's a thing of the past, man. Nobody wants to be at the show all day, every day. Your people tired, you still walking around this jug of water. You waiting to see what's going on. You're hungry. You don't want to eat nothing. You trying to wait to see if you're going to win. It's 4 o'clock. The show started 4, 5 o'clock. Then next thing you know, you don't get on stage till 8:15. Then 8:15 is now midnight. Don't nobody want to be there all day like that.
Right.
So these formats are good. And then what makes your format even more is once those classes are done, you're done for the day. You know what I'm saying? You go out, enjoy your family and everything, and then you kind of have an idea of when you're going on, which in bodybuilding, people always say, what time you think we're going on? Man, we don't know what time you're going on. It's a bodybuilding show. But with this format, you'll have a scope to kind of know exactly what time you're going to go on and let your family know. And then you can go out, do things, enjoy Kima, Galveston, Houston, Clear Lake. You can go out and have some fun after you get through with this show. So I think those type of production shows is a thing of the past, and I really think that the athletes really enjoy these straight formats better.
Well, we also have broken down and actually implemented a lunch and a dinner break for judges too and expediters, because we do understand. You're welcome. Yeah, I knew that was going to be exciting, right? We were finding that, even last year, we didn't really even take a break. We went straight into prejudging, straight into the night show, and had maybe 30 minutes for the scorekeeper. What's going to be cool is our MC is going to be working dual jobs. I will tell you that we'll let the cat out of the bag since we have so many tickets. We're going to be filtering people in and out throughout the day. We are going to be live streaming on a pay-per-view basis. And we are going to have a production crew, which we hired. We're going to make sure that, somebody overseas or somebody who is traveling in from the US to compete and their families want to watch, but they couldn't come travel. We knew that would be friendly for them so they could group around and actually see that as well. So that's the official announcement. And it's going to be through a link called Boxcast, which will be available next week. I do want to let everybody know that now the new phone number for the brand new hotel that we secured is also on the Storm Classic website. So we wanted to make sure it was friendly for you guys who were sitting at the table and judging, the people who are helping to organize. We have probably one of the best, and if I can brag on our expediting staff for a second. No, I can't.
Yes, you can, because they're the best you ever seen, man. That's one thing that make our show so good is the people behind the scenes that's doing the things they do. Like in our show, you had great expediters, you had the collectors, you had trophy girls, awards. It's just on point, and they're all athletes, so they know how they want to feel competing, so they make sure that those who are competing feel the same way. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the best.
Well,
yes.
I have to first of all thank Sunni, because Sunni has always been there, helping on the right side, doing trophies. That is something that I think a lot of people go unnoticed. And, it's highly valuable. You're someone who's very valuable for the organization, but also to make sure that the shows run smoothly. I have to say, Alethea is probably the right person that always was for the director of training, but she makes every show run smooth. And I beg her and ask her and plead with her to make sure that she could be involved in our show. And she said, without a doubt, absolutely. And she helped to get some of the best runners in the business, which is Yolanda Smith. Yolanda will be there. And Carolina Cortez basically helped Alethea head expedite the legacy. And she has grown in such a great role that, you know, I think she's ready to take over that spot as Alethea has trained her well. And I know that for those guys on the left, we absolutely have no apprehension whatsoever. We know things are going to run as smooth as they possibly can with them on board. So,
Exactly.
you know, for the right side, we have Brandy LeBlanc and we also have Daryl Bolden. These are seasoned vets who, you know, Daryl has been expediting now for 5 years. Brandy has helped to expedite not only the Vegas show, but last year our show, and she was on the left side. So we're going to have people who are trained to help athletes, to let them know where they need to go and help them feel comfortable and confident on stage. I just can't thank those guys enough already in advance, but that's going to be an exciting part. And, you know, with some of the partners that we've had, some of you have seen some of the posts, if you don't mind me bragging for a second. Aqua Med Spa stepped up big. For overall winners, they're giving away a $50 gift card for services. For the overall pro and amateur winners, so they're forking out a nice little chunk of change for that. We also have Infinity Float Center, who is giving away free floats also to amateurs and pros. And I know you guys were like, well, what about the judges? I mean, we had a pretty hectic day too. I'm working on that. I'm working on it. I just got to go one step at a time. So I knew we'd get a thumbs up from Sunni and also hopefully from Todd. But, you know, and even the expediters, I mean, they're on their feet and some of them in heels all day. So we want to try and, you know, really just thank them with, you know, everything that we can do for them. And I know that, you know, as far as vendors, we have some amazing vendors. I'm not going to spoil that, but you're going to be seeing a lot of the posts released this week. But, you know, it's just really exciting to finish off the year right. And by the way,
Yes.
you guys don't even know some of this stuff, but Bob and I had a conversation today, and I think for 2021, we're going to revamp a couple of things and make some modifications to this show specifically that is probably going to be very open to being audience friendly. And I think you guys are going to like it, but we're not going to release any of those details yet until they are actually in stone. But we're going to have different guests. We're going to be working with different companies from around the country. And Bob is very excited about it. And when Bob gets excited about something, it happens. So, and I'm not going to ramble on about the show, but, you know, I mean, yes, rolling check-ins will happen. If I can just go over this, you know, we're going to do a 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock pro check-in. And I know I wrote this down. So that way we just go in the order of how the format was released online. So if you have a Facebook or an Instagram post, that's how we're going to do it in 30-minute to 1 hour increments. But that will also be posted. So that way you guys know, because a lot of the questions are coming in now, and we'll get that taken care of. So any last minute thoughts, Sunni, as far as what you're excited about, what you're looking forward to, what you really enjoyed at the Diva, or what you really enjoyed at the Legacy? Free thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I can't wait to judge your show. It is the culminating show, like the end, like the period, the stamp of 2020, of this year that has so many things have happened. And for you to still pull a show through, even through all of this, I mean, you know, hats off to you, Matt. Shout out to Todd, you know, and, you know, just keeping it going for us to really like close in on Legacy the way we visioned it to be. You know, it was some things that we couldn't, you know, work around, or we couldn't have that we wanted on our wish list, but we were able to pull an excellent show that's been, you know, having a lot of waves right now. So, you know, for the most part, the GBO Naturals and GBO, shout out to Bob and his vision, you know, set forth in, you know, I know he's happy that we're all excelling and not giving up and pushing through and pushing forward, because at the end of the day, that's what bodybuilders, all the fitness, you know, people that are involved in this industry, this is what we do day in and day out in every capacity of our life. Consistency equals results, remember, in every area of your life. So long as you keep getting up and long as you keep going, everything will excel and be the way as you want it. So, you know, Todd.
Well said. Well said.
Pulled out 4 shows this year, you know, to include the Storm, you know, and they thought we wasn't gonna be able to do any. You know, the season almost got shut down. We were like, oh, we're just gonna cancel the season and go 2021. I'm like, no way, baby. We gotta keep going. You know, we got athletes out here ready that've been prepping forever for these shows. So we pulled them out. They responded. They came through. They did their job on stage, and they made it happen. And we're just excited that we can make it happen for all of you guys out there that are still hitting the stage. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the 24th. I'm excited. Like I said, I got the best seat in the house. You know what I'm saying? You know, I told somebody with the legacy, I say, hey man, it's like I bought me a Super Bowl ticket, you know, to the best natural bodybuilding show this year. So yeah, I'm just excited about it, man. And one more shout out, Viva Mexico! Yeah, to my folks down there at GBO Mexico. So yeah, that's it. That's it, Matt. Man, we just gonna do this thing, man. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready, and I'm excited to finish out this year and start up. We'll be announcing dates in December. We should be having a date locked for the Diva real soon. Don't forget, we got Genesis in March. So for GBO Naturals, and we got a lineup. I think right now, when I was looking at the we got probably about 15, 16, 17 shows. It's already locked in right now, getting ready for the 21 season, just in the United States. We're not even talking about international, not even talking about Chris Proctor and them in GBO Europe. We're not talking about Leonardo Molina out there in South America. We're not talking about Mexico. We're not even talking about India. We're just talking about the United States. That we got probably about 16, 17 shows that's ready to go.
Well, I will tell you this: when you said the best seat in the house, I asked Booker T if you know, you could take his seat again, because he offered his seat up to you. That's how you were so comfortable the whole show last year. That thing is really cool, and so I didn't think it was going to happen, but I think we might be able to secure that same seat for you this year.
Hey, I tell Booker I appreciate it, baby. Yeah, tell Booker I appreciate it.
Tell him, hey, thank you for letting me borrow your seat, because it was not up for us.
Is he gonna be at the show? Is he coming this year?
I talked to him a few weeks ago. He said he wanted to. He said, name the time and the place, and I'm there. Of course, he's on call all the time, so he could be in New York. So, you know, his lovely wife, Charmel, was there, of course, and she had a chance to enjoy. So, you know, we love having them there if they can be there. And, you know, hopefully we can. We'll cross our fingers. And, you know, what we are going to be doing is, you know, we are going to be donating to the Booker T Fights for Kids again. That's something that, you know, is really near and dear to our hearts, because we know that that goes to a really good cause, and 100% of it does. So, you know, as just, that's our thank you for letting us use the venue and borrow the venue. We obviously want to treat it with respect. So that's one of the reasons why we are running the format the way we're running. So that way, people who want to see their class or division people in there, we're not having to crowd it, and we're not having people waiting outside. And, you know, we can kind of roll through, and also people who can't make it physically can still see it. So we're trying to do everything that we can to make sure that, you know, we can't please everyone, but we want to make sure and at least appease and do the things that we can control to try and bring you the best events. As, you know, we make adjustments according to kind of how the world goes. And we think that these adjustments are definitely the right move in the right direction. So, you know,
I tell you, man, COVID is real, man. You know, it's COVID restrictions. Hey, we just found out the president got COVID now, so you know, he got the coronavirus. So yeah, I mean, we got to still be safe, still have these provisions in order, and you know, we want everybody to be safe and stay healthy. So ride with us, baby. But we're gonna get you in and find a way for you to see these shows, though.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons why we're taking every precaution. So some of you have asked me about masks. Yes, we are requiring masks, and we are going to be taking temperatures at the door, very similar to how the Legacy did. So we want to make sure you're our safety first, and we want to have a great experience. So we're going to be having chairs spaced out, but also if you're in a group, you can, you know, obviously can sit together. And we're just really excited that all of us get it back together as a family in another 3 weeks, because I really missed this year seeing you guys on basically once every other week or once a month. And I think that a lot of people who are showing up are really going to appreciate just the family atmosphere and getting a chance to see their family again. So,
Oh yeah.
other than that, guys, we're looking forward to next week and the week after. Of course, it's going to be crazy busy. If you have questions, let us know. And obviously my Instagram, my Facebook, my phone number, my text, my messenger is all available to you. If I don't answer right away, it's because, Todd's talking to me about, doing his hair right. And, I got to take notes. So, Sunni, Todd, thanks again.
Yes.
We appreciate all of you. And guys, thank you for the support and, really just moving along through this. And we just can't wait to finish out the year right. Until then, we will talk next week as you will see our guest host, most likely again, one of these two fine individuals. And then 5:30, same time, same place.
Peace.